Some area health departments are seeing rises in coronavirus cases. We'll break down the current case numbers throughout the 4 states.
President Biden emphasizes the U.S. alliance with NATO during his first foreign trip as commander-in-chief. I'm Natalie Brand with the long list of issues on the agenda.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Coronavirus cases are on the incline as summer gets into full swing. This is KOAM News at 5. Several counties in the 4 states have seen an uptick in coronavirus cases in recent weeks. Jasper County has the highest number of active cases, with 89 being reported to us. Joplin is the next highest, with 70 being reported. A month ago, on May 14th, there were only 6 active cases in Joplin. Health officials say many people are getting relaxed as summer gets going. And Ryan Talkin at the Joplin Health Department has another thought on why.
There's the potential for the case rates to go up due to various variants that have been reported. I think the important thing to note is that vaccine still remains effective.
Tonight at 6, we'll hear more about cases in the 4 states and what officials would like to see happen. Some area kids today got a lesson on horses and ranching. The Eastern Shawnee tribe hosted a summer program at their ranch where kids could learn how to take care of horses. Some of the lessons included setting up a saddle, using proper safety gear, and riding. Officials say the kids seem to really be enjoying the program.
We can already tell just from summer program, this is our 2nd week. But we've been doing it during the school year too, and we've seen so many positive outcomes in the kids' interactions, their emotions, and everything.
This is the first year that the tribe has hosted this ranch program. And although it's still pretty hot, not a bad day to be outside for something like that.
Yeah, not bad for us today. It is hot, but our humidity is actually in check, so we don't have a high heat index like we have seen so many times really over the past week or so. Pretty much clear skies, have a few little clouds which have been sneaking into our northwestern counties, a dying area of showers. So we will see a few clouds rotate through, but that is really just about it. We're still dominated by this huge ridge of high pressure out to the west, and that's not allowing any big storm systems to work in as we go through the next several days. Temps right now, most of us upper 80s to near 90 degrees. But thankfully, we don't have much in the way of humidity, so our heat index is about right where our temperatures are, and that is always good news this time of the year. Through the evening hours, we slide back through the 80s, 70s, mid-60s for us tonight. Of course, we're going to look at the rest of the work week, all coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thank you. Well, gun violence across America spiked in 2020 and is showing no signs of slowing so far in 2021. The Gun Violence Archive counts at least 272 mass shootings in the U.S. so far this year. That's defined as incidents with 4 or more people shot. There have been more than 8,900 gun deaths this year, including 139 just since Friday. President Biden is in Brussels for a summit with leaders of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization on his first foreign trip as Commander-in-Chief. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
President Biden stressed the importance of a strong NATO alliance in combating new security challenges, including threats posed by China.
Russia and China are both seeking to drive a wedge in our transatlantic solidarity.
In a statement after their meeting, the heads of the 30 NATO countries also took aim at Russian aggression, saying Russia's actions constitute a threat to Euro-Atlantic security.
I'm not looking for conflict with Russia, but that we will respond if Russia continues its harmful activities.
The NATO leaders noted new challenges, including disinformation and cyber warfare, suggesting the alliance's founding treaty should be updated to include emerging threats. President Biden will have the chance to discuss the issue face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Wednesday, following recent cyber attacks believed to be caused by Russian actors.
There are areas where we can cooperate if he chooses. If he chooses not to cooperate and acts in a way that he has in the past relative to cybersecurity and some other activities, then we will respond.
In an interview with NBC News ahead of the summit, Putin claims Russia is not to blame.
We have been accused of all kinds of things, election interference, cyber attacks, and so on and so forth. And not one time did they bother to produce any kind of evidence or proof.
Cyber attacks, Russian aggression towards Ukraine and other European neighbors, as well as human rights violations have pushed U.S.-Russia relations to the lowest point in decades. But President Biden is hoping to put the relationship on a better path and find common ground with Putin on climate change and ending the violence in Syria. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Now, when asked whether his meeting with Putin was coming too soon in his presidency, President Biden said every world leader he spoke with at NATO thanked him for meeting with Putin now. Benjamin Netanyahu is out as Israel's prime minister after 12 years in office. The country's longest-serving leader lost control of the government last night. 49-year-old Naftali Bennett is the new prime minister. To take office, his party created Israel's most diverse coalition in history, including an Arab party for the first time ever. Netanyahu has called his toppling a fraud. China is dealing with the rapidly spreading Delta COVID variant, which was first found in India. Health workers there say they have been fighting for the past 3 weeks and that it could be a bigger threat than the initial virus. Chinese health officials are saying the surge is easing, but they're warning that future flare-ups could follow. Well, coming up in Health Watch, differences in transmission based on temperature.
How heat and humidity may affect COVID transmission rates. I'm Dina Demetrius with a look at new research.
And later, a look at the latest efforts and costs of commercial space tourism.
Smart choice.
Another COVID-19 vaccine could be headed to the market. Biotech company Novavax is expected to ask for permission to distribute its shots soon. The Maryland-based company says its 2-dose vaccine is about 90% effective and is safe after being tested in nearly 30,000 trial participants. Novavax plans to seek authorization to give out its vaccine by the end of September, with a focus on distribution in low to middle income countries. The CDC will hold an emergency meeting later this week to discuss a possible side effect of COVID vaccines in young people. New data shows there have been more than 200 cases of heart inflammation in people 30 and younger who have received a Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. The CDC says the cases, mostly seen in males, are extremely rare. New research looks at how heat, humidity, and UV rays may impact the spread of the coronavirus. Reporter Dina Demetrius has more on what that could mean as the pandemic lifts.
Many have questioned whether COVID-19 will eventually be seasonal, with the coronavirus spreading more at certain times of the year. Now a new study finds meteorological factors such as warmer temperatures, increased humidity, and higher levels of UV radiation are associated with decreased transmission of COVID.
The way it's associated would suggest that in the wintertime, this virus will be more active. It will be more transmissible at that time of year, and that little boost is going to allow it to get around and preferentially cause outbreaks during the wintertime rather than during the summertime.
Dr. Jeffrey Shaman with Columbia University Mailman School of Public Health co-authored the study, which looked at thousands of U.S. counties from March to December of 2020. This past winter, mask wearing kept the flu from spreading on top of COVID. But now the concern is what will happen next season when COVID precautions are no longer in place.
The thing that's going to happen if we go back to normal interactions and stop wearing the masks and social distancing is flu is going to be able to transmit the way it used to. Now, if we have both flu and COVID at the same time, our healthcare systems, our hospitals are going to have to plan for that.
And while summer is on everyone's mind right now, researchers say it's important to plan for the winter, especially in the northern regions of the U.S. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The researchers say of the factors they studied, humidity played the largest role. Your choice of stress relief is probably food. A survey from marketing research firm OnePoll and Hope Foods says food was the most chosen coping mechanism for bad days. The survey of 2,000 people says 43% will eat something just to feel better. Half of all respondents chose sweet treats, with salty snacks coming in second. 32% did stretching or exercise for mood relief, and only 29% went out for fresh air. So what's getting people into bad moods anyway? Well, the top answers were stressful life events, poor sleep, stress in general, and poor diet. And that's a look at today's health news. A little later, Volkswagen is hit with a data breach impacting 3 million customers.
Plus, another hot day for us today. Well, stick around this week. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be another hot one for us today. Temperatures back up into lower 90s during the afternoon hours. And we've had a pretty good stretch now of hot temperatures, and we're about halfway through June. And if we look back so far, it was a very cool start to the month as we had below normal temperatures, and then we finally got back to average, and then we've had a pretty good stretch of temperatures now above average, and we're going to stay that way as we go through most of this week. Looking outside right now, it's 90 in Nevada, 89 in Neosho, 91 in Miami, 90 in Pittsburgh. Heading west, Independence is sitting at about 91 degrees, and we aren't alone. The entire Central Plains, everybody fairly hot, sitting kind of in that 90 to about 95 degree range. But the good news here is our humidity has dropped a little bit. Check out our dew points. Usually this time of the year when you get the really sticky, soupy humidity, our dew points are sitting into the 70s. Right now we're kind of in that 60 to about 65 degree range. So if we look at our dew point tracker, that puts us in the not bad to sticky range, instead of the muggy to soupy range, but our dew points will start to go back up as we head into the next couple days. Looks good. 7th and range line off toward the northwest, currently sitting at 90. Very light south wind. Humidity relative is fairly low at 42%. Through the evening hours, we'll drop back through the 80s, 70s, and eventually down into the mid 60s later on tonight. So not quite as cool or comfortable that we did see earlier this morning. Pretty much sunny skies. Have a few little clouds sneaking into our northwestern counties. Had a little batch of showers, and they've kind of died as they've rolled in. So we just have some clouds left over. So you may see a few random clouds out there tonight. But besides that, there's nothing going on due to this huge ridge of high pressure, the jet stream way up into parts of Canada. Every now and then we get a few little weak waves that rotate around the ridge, but we can't get any big storm systems in our neck of the woods as long as that ridge is sitting out there. Hangs out all week long. You can see a few waves rotate through, and then finally it shifts west, kind of breaks down late Thursday into Friday. We get a system in here that could give us at least a cold front into the region plus some tropical moisture. That's when our rain chances will start to increase. Until then, they're just not that good. For us tonight, we drop back into the mid 60s, so it looks pretty good by the time we start the day. 66, partly sunny skies. I think we'll have plenty of sunshine all day long, 85 by noon, then a high temp, once again right around 93 as we head into the afternoon hours. So tomorrow, very similar to today, the humidity not too bad. As we go through tomorrow night and then heading into Wednesday, there's a slight chance we could get a spotty shower in here, but our temperatures will start to go up just a little bit. Plus our humidity is going to climb by the time we head into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. But just a hot week. 93 tomorrow, 94 Wednesday, 96 on Thursday and Friday. Chances for scattered thunderstorms heading into the weekend. Father's Day, not looking too bad, 91 with a few scattered pop-up storms.
I like the 91 is not looking too bad when you compare it to the rest of the week.
Yeah, 96, 95, 96, that's getting up there.
It is, but it's that time of year again.
It is.
Doug, thank you so much. Well, coming up, as the dream of space tourism gets closer, some people are shelling out millions to save a seat. But first, we honor a local member of the armed forces. Richard Friel Jr. joined the U.S. Army in 2004. The Independence, Kansas native was stationed in Iraq, and we salute Private First Class Richard Friel Jr., a four-state hero. Volkswagen and its luxury brand Audi have been hit with a data breach impacting at least 3 million customers and prospective buyers in North America. Company officials say an unauthorized third party obtained personal information from a vendor that Audi uses. The company has reached out to 90,000 people who had extremely personal information swiped, including their driver's license and social security numbers. The company says it'll offer those consumers free credit protection services. The United States Postal Service says more than 5,800 of its mail carriers were attacked by dogs in 2020. The agency reports an attack only if a postal worker submits an injury claim or tells a supervisor about it. The most dog attacks were reported in Houston, followed by Chicago, Los Angeles, Cleveland, and Denver. Some people's summer vacation plans are truly out of this world. Billionaire Jeff Bezos is planning a joyride into the cosmos next month. And over the weekend, someone bid $28 million to join him. In all, the auction drew more than 7,500 bids from 159 countries. Reporter Mark Strassman has more.
This is the beginning of a revolution in space travel, and Blue Origin is going to take you there.
In Blue Origin's vision, your ticket to space is a rocket away. Company founder Jeff Bezos will go up first next month. An 11-minute flight to the edge of space.
It's a thing I've wanted to do all my life.
Space, the final frontier in tourism. Private companies turning science fiction into reality. Sir Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic intends to fly customers on suborbital flights next year. 600 people prepaid up to $250,000 apiece for a future seat.
People want to go to space, should go to space, because they come back changed.
They go up a tourist, come down an astronaut.
This is where you get strapped in.
Billionaire Jared Isaacman chartered a SpaceX spaceship for a 3-day orbit of Earth called Inspiration 4. A crew of 4 will fly higher than the space station. They're all civilians.
This is a first. That's significance, that's responsibility.
Responsibility being the first, that there will be a second and a third and a fourth?
Absolutely. You have to get this one right for all the other great missions to follow.
There are special packages available to the International Space Station, even a planned orbit around the moon. But lots of unanswered questions. Is the space tourism market sustainable? What about risk and access? Today's ticket prices defy gravity and most people's budgets.
I certainly hope the costs finally start to go down.
Alan Ladwig, formerly of NASA, just wrote a book called See You in Orbit.
I think a lot of people want to go for many different reasons, to bring meaning to their lives, to do something different. But I also think some people just want to go because they can afford it and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Inspiration 4 crew member Cyan Proctor believes future access is key.
Opening up space for everybody. It's a just, equitable, diverse, and inclusive space.
For now, it's all about to become the ultimate vacation selfie. Space tourists, prepare for liftoff. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Atlanta.
Got a final check of the forecast next. CBS Evening News is next. Then on KOAM News at 6, we'll hear more from area health departments about current COVID-19 cases. Plus, the Miami Housing Authority hosts a training session for people looking to rent property, going over rights and responsibilities. And the Kansas Housing Agency is asking for public input on addressing the state's housing issues. Stay with us for CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Another hot one, and it looks like it's only going to get hotter, Doug.
Yeah, temperatures going up a little bit over the next couple days. At least the humidity right now is not that bad. It's not going to be that bad tomorrow. The humidity is going to start to creep in later on this week, so we'll have heat indices kind of in that 100 to 105 degree range. Mainly dry the next couple days. Some scattered thunderstorms sneaking in late this week and into the weekend.
Still, it's a lot more like summer should be.
Yeah, very typical for this time of the year.
Can't complain that much. Yep. I mean, we got to have it sometime, right? Doug, thank you. That's our time for now. CBS Evening News is next. We're going to be back here at 6. Thanks for making us part of your night.